Okay, good morning all. The topic where we left off in our last lecture was this, that is polygon meshes. Okay, so we'll start our lecture now, and we have so many things to cover, so we'll start it now. Okay, many people have joined it, so we can start now. So as we have already discussed this thing that is polygon meshes, as you can see in the figure, what you see is a like we have one image of a boy, and basically what it is made up of, it is made up of edges, vertices and faces that defines this shape particularly. Okay, as you can see, we have multiple edges. Similarly, we have four vertices. If you consider this thing, four vertices we have for this particular square, you can consider. Similarly, it is nothing but a polygon. A polygon can have any shape, and you could be having any number of vertex or edges. It depends on the shape, how you're forming that particular thing. Okay, but you have this minimum requirement, that is an edge can be said by two or more polygon, because but obviously at the end you are going to attach all of this thing to make a complete defined shape. Suppose you are making a boy image or some car or something like that, or a circle is there, so you would be using this kind of shapes, and out of that you are at the end going to connect all of these things. So an edge can be said by two or more polygons, but obviously if you consider this edge, it is like being said by two edge, or a single polygon or more polygons could be using that same edge. Similarly a vertex, so similarly vertex is said by at least two such edges. Okay, so if you consider this vertex, okay, if you consider this vertex, so it is being said by two, or it can be said by more. So if you are considering this thing, so it is said by four such edges. Okay, so it depends on the shape what you are using, what you are like performing on these operations or whatever things you are doing. It is totally dependent on that, and it can be represented in these three following ways. We have these three things. That is a thing that we are going to study today, and after that we will see one more thing, that is spline representation. So whenever you generally see some videos or something, they are working on CAD softwares or something like that. So we cannot be having something that will be always you'd be having a line that is always straight or kind of that shape. You want something that should be curved in nature, or you want your figure or scenario that would look to the user bit more realistic. So to create such realistic version, to create such realistic effect, you want something that is known as spline. So we'll see that thing also, but first of all we need to finish this thing. Okay, polygon meshes. So three such things that we have is explicit representation, pointer to vertex list, and pointer to edge list. So again, it is nothing but we are going to see how these things would be represented in your computer. Okay, so now in explicit representation, the very first thing is explicit representation. As we are into this topic, that is polygon meshes. So in explicit representation, each polygon stores all the vertices in the memory as given below. So, but obviously, if you consider one simple example, you have to just keep one simple shape into the mind, and that would be having n such things, okay, n such vertices, and it will be storing the same information in this manner. So that it will be equal to p equal to x1 y1 z1, similarly x2 y2 z2, and if you are getting something or some edge is coming out of the x2 y2 z2, and it is going, or it is connecting the vertex that is x3 y3 z3, then again it will be storing that information, that is x2 y2 z2 comma x3 y3 z3. So consecutively it will store all of the information that is present in the polygon. Okay, so it process fast, but requires more memory for storing it. But why it requires more memory? Because it will store the redundant information. Okay, now what is this redundant information? So that we will see. So we have one such shape over here, and we want to know how this representation work. So but obviously based on the figure you can see one thing, that is we have this shape and we have two surfaces, or you can say two polygons, that is p1 and p2, and we have similarly four vertices, that is v1 v2 v3 v4, and each vertices will be be having a given point. You can say if you are, if because we are like considering this thing based on the 2D based on the 3D three-dimensional concept, so that would be having three such coordinate information, that is x1 y1 z1. Similarly over here you would be having x2 y2 z2 and so on. So that's the same thing we have already seen in the last lecture. Okay, But now over here what it says, so but obviously now P1 represents that it is referring to the polygon 1, or you can say surface 1, okay, based on your image. And based on that, it is storing few information, as you can see on the computer screen. So what it says, like it is storing x1, y1, z1, okay, that is this information. Then similarly, where it is going, that is it is referring, it is going from x1, y1, z1 to x2, y2, z2. So we have connected two vertex, okay. Similarly, from x2, y2, z2, where it is going, x3, y3, z3. Similarly, one more information is required to like finish this polygon or this surface that is there in your figure. So that is v3. One edge we have, one such edge we have, that is from v3 to v1. And but obviously similarly it will store its coordinate information, that is x3, y3, z3, and x1, y1, z1, okay. So this is how it will store, and that is what it says. If your information is redundant, then but obviously it is going to take more memory into the consideration. So now that's why it says that although it is fast, but more memory is required because redundant information is getting stored, okay. Similarly for P2 also you can write the same thing, as we have one thing for P1. Similarly for P2, including nothing but x1, y1, z1. Similarly from x1, y1, z1, where it is going, that is x3, y3, z3, okay. Again from x3, y3, z3, it is going to like similarly x4, y4, z4, and so on. You have to store all of the information, or it will store such thing if you are considering explicit representation, okay. The second thing that we have is pointer to vertex list, okay. See, right now we don't have to apply any like such logic or our own mind or something, like we just have one shape, and out of that how what we are learning is, our ultimate goal is to learn how these things are getting stored into the computer. So but obviously the computer is going to maintain one simple table, you can consider, or an array. So you just keep this thing in mind, okay. So don't like put such thing in your mind, or okay how this thing will go, or so you don't have to apply any such logic over here. It is as simple as that. So now the next thing that we have is pointer to vertex list, okay, in our polygon message topic. So now what it says, as written over here in this method, each vertex stores in vertex list, you can say each vertex is stored in the vertex list, and then polygon contains pointer to the required vertex, okay. So as such what it says, the very first thing is each vertex, or the vertex number of information will be stored in the vertex. It is v equal to x1, y1, z1. Similarly, if you have up to n, 5, 6, whatever you have, everything will be stored in this vertex list that will be represented as capital V. Similarly, we have one more thing, that is, and then polygon contains the pointer to this required vertex, okay. So that will be represented by p in our case. So if you consider one example, well, we'd be having three vertices, that is 3, 4, 5. Then how we will store it in this info, how we will store this information. So over here we have one capital P that represents polygon information, and if it is for polygon p1, p2, p3, whatever thing you are referring to the figure, or you are taking into the consideration, it will store the same information, okay. So over here again it is storing the same thing, that is p equal to v3, v4, from v4 to v5, similarly v5 to v3, okay. So out of the given shape, it is all dependent on the given shape only. ऐसा नहीं है कि ऐसा लिखा है तो it will be like this only. It is all dependent on the shape. So if there is one thing that is coming from v3 to v4, then only you can store this information. So we have one example over here that would be easier for you to understand. So what it says, it is considerably space saving, but common edges are difficult to find, okay. How, that we will see. So the same shape as we have seen in the previous slide, we will put it over here, and we'll try to understand it with this pointer to vertex list example, okay. So now, but obviously as it says, we have to like similarly store the number of vertices that we have. So as given in our example, we have v1, v2, v3, v4, and all of this information will be stored in this v, okay, capital V, okay, based on the example. So now what it says, the next thing will be for the particular polygon, okay. So we have two such polygons over here, as you can see in the figure, that is p1 and p2. So now p1 would be storing the information that is there in the figure. So what it says is, we will be having the pointer to the required vertex or the vertices. So p1 would point to v1 and v2. Similarly, from V2 to V3, we are getting one such thing, and similarly V3 to V1. For P1, similarly, you can store the same information for polygon P2. Okay, and you have to maintain this information as V1, V3, V3, V4, V4, V1. So that is how it is, and that is how it is storing this thing whenever it processes this particular thing. Okay. Similarly, the next thing that we have is pointer to edge list. Okay, so now what does it say? In this method, polygon have pointer to the edge list. Okay, polygon have pointer to the edge list. So very first thing, as it is written over here, what it will maintain is it will maintain a thing, the things that are coming from the from the shape that you have, that is the edge. So number of edge, whatever number of edge that are present in that particular polygon, it will store all of this thing. And edge list then points to the vertex list. For each edge, two vertex pointer is required which points in vertex list. Okay, so how many informations we require is simply given over here. So first of all, what it says, we have vertices, number of vertices will be stored in this capital V, that is nothing but it is pointing to the vertex list. Similarly, the next information that it is storing is the edge list. Okay, so edge list is nothing but it points to the vertex list. Similarly, the next thing that we are using is a pointer, that is from for each edge, two vertex pointer is required which points in the vertex list. Okay, so we will again maintain this thing that will store the information about all of the edges that are present in that particular shape. So now what it says, this approach is more memory efficient and easy to find the common edges. Okay, yeah. So now based on that, if we have such information like a separate thing that is storing the edge information and all, then but obviously it will become like more efficient. So it won't waste the time to search the common edges that are present between the two polygons, because we are working with the masses. And but obviously if we are talking about mass, then everything will be connected with each other, because at the end a whole image would be formed out of this given small polygons or small things that are there in your figure. So everything would be connected at the end, so you need some information to process all of these things. So the computer needs this thing, so that's why it will store it in such manner. Okay, so as you can see in this figure, we have four such vertices, and we have like e1, e2, e3. As you can see, e1, e2, e3, and e4 and e5. Okay, so we have five edges. So let's see how it is going to store all of this thing. So very first thing, but obviously we have to maintain a vertex list that would store all of the vertices that are present in that particular shape. Okay. So very first thing is x1, y1, z1, similarly x2, y2, z2, x3, y3, z3, and x4, y4, z4 will be stored in this particular vertex list. Now the next thing it says is to maintain a edge like list, you can say, yeah, edge list. So now what it is storing is, but obviously as we will simply take this thing out of the previous slide, that is it will store the vertex information. So now we have edge 1 is there between v1 and v2, similarly edge 2 is there between v2 and v3. So out of this it can easily find that okay, we have one edge present between v1 v2, similarly v2 v3, similarly v3 v1, sorry, v3 v4, similarly v4 v1, and all of the information would be stored in this edge list. Okay, and then how you'd be able to differentiate whether we have multiple polygons or a single polygon. So it is again represented, it can be represented with the polygon. Okay, number of polygons if you have, you can simply store it as always p1. So you will just simply store this information, that is we have, it is e1, e2, e3. So that is nothing but e1, e2, e3 will point to the simple information only, that okay, we have e1 that is coming out of v1 and going to v2, or vice versa, similarly v2 to v3, and it will store all of this information to keep a track of, or to render a complete thing onto your computer screen. So these are the very simple things that that is there in your this particular unit. And then we are moving towards a more like a bit, you can say, we will see few things that will go, or that will take you towards some mathematical background. So try to understand this thing, everything is relatable, everything, few things are there that you already have learned in your like 12th science or 10th or something. and we will try to understand the topics, whatever things that is there in your like on your computer screen or in our PPT. We will try to understand it. Okay. Many of time, like many of the time, whenever you are searched about like computer graphics, whenever you are preparing about this subject or all, you have come to this term that is Bezier curve or curve representation or something. But obviously, till now you were not able to understand it because we have not seen it. But now after this topic, you must be able to like understand this thing, and okay, this is how it is there in your 3D concept and how we can represent these things. Okay, so now the very first thing that we have is spline representations. Okay, so spline. So what is a spline? So spline is flexible strip. Flexible strip. It means you would be able to like mold it based on your own requirements. So used to produce a smooth curve through a designated set of points, as it is there in your on your computer screen. So we have one figure, so that is nothing but spline. So based on this like yellow dots you can see in the PPT, it is nothing but the control points. So but obviously it is not like that you just make one thing and it will be like appearing on the computer screen. If you are going to the core, then you need some like if you want to mold it according to your requirement, or if you want some smooth transitions or curve as per your requirement, then you need this designated points. This designated points are nothing but the control points that you can consider. Okay, several small weights are attached to the spline to hold in particular position. Okay, as you can see, it is nothing but it will act like a hold level, the thing that will hold this particular line in that particular position. Okay, and you can assign some values to it. Now, spline curve refers to any composite curve formed with polynomial sections satisfying specified continuity condition at the boundary of the pieces. But obviously, now we are going to this curved section, so multiple curved section could be there, and how this curved section would be like connecting or getting connected with each other. But obviously, one if one curve section is ending at some point, another point, and at the same point, if another curve section is continuing or getting attached to the same thing, then you need something that is known as continuity condition. Okay, so if your continuity condition is okay, and if you are specifying it correctly, then it will it will be like rendered as per your own requirement. Else if you have not like put the condition correctly, or if you're not modeled it correctly, then you'd be like finding it a bit different or not like a good thing to the eye. So if you want it in this manner, then you need to specify all of the conditions to be like easily that would map this thing and render this thing perfectly. Yeah, now one more thing I wanted to make it clear, that okay, till now you have seen the things in the paint or some UI based softwares, you can say application softwares. So but obviously these softwares are nothing but for the navy users, or you can say for the end users. They don't not have to go with the core of this subject or core of this thing. Okay, so that's why they what they do is they just take their mouse and they just interact with the software and they just put it as per the requirement. But now based on this thing, like because we are studying this computer graphics, we need to go in a little bit deeper fundamentals. Okay, so now a spline, yes, so this point again. Yeah, see, right now you just keep one thing in mind. These are the control points. Okay, and it is not like that. Okay, you just you need to have this information as of now. You just have to understand. You just need to understand this topic. Okay, so if I say that you have to like render a line or a curve, and you'd say that okay, sir, which are the control points? So control points is nothing but it will define one environment or one boundary. Okay, in which this curve would appear, okay, or from which this curve would pass. Okay, so if you don't have this control points, then you would be able to render this thing correctly. Okay, these control points are very important. So these are the points that will control this complete curve, or you can say line, or this particular shape. Okay, so as such we have one shape over here. Okay, we have 4 control points. So now what if you have this information of these points, and you have 4 such curve sections. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what you do is, like, simply if you want to create such shape, what you will do is you will just connect this thing with this control point. And for this you need some continuity condition, that okay, if this thing, two curve sections are intersecting at this point, then it will look like this. So these are the mathematical, the basic fundamentals that you need to know how this thing works. Okay, so these are nothing but the control points. So we'll say this thing, not a problem. This is just an introductory part. Based on the future further things that we will see, you will be able to get it. अभी कुछ नहीं है, वो points है, nothing else. No like XYZ thing or something. Okay, just a simple point that will connect a line or a curve. Okay. Now two such things that will come out of this spline representation are interpolation and approximation splines. Okay, so whatever things we are going to see today, each and everything is having its own representation based on like one graph or one figure, simple figure. So based on that you try to put your imagination into it. Okay, नहीं तो बहुत confusion होगा, because these are the 3D things. If you don't put your like imagination, or if you don't imagine this thing, you won't be able to understand it. तो थोड़ा होगा problem, but you try to understand it. Okay, so what it says, we specify spline curve by giving a set of coordinate position called control points. The same thing that I have seen just now. I told to you that is the coordinate position called control points. This indicates the general shape of the curve. Okay. Likewise, so when curve section passes through this each control points, the curve is known as interpolation spline. Okay. So now the very first thing that we have is the interpolation spline. Okay, now we have, as you can see in the figure, we have 5 such control point, and what it says is your curve is passing through each of these control points, and you have one shape that looks like this. It is not like that कि आपका shape ऐसा ही दिखना चाहिए. It is just for example. Okay, if you have such thing, and if your curve is passing through each of the control points that you have defined or that your computer have defined, that is known as interpolation spline. Okay, similarly, now one more thing that we have is this, that is approximation spline. Okay, so now what it says, when curve section follows general control path, okay, without passing or without necessarily going through all of the control paths that you have defined or the control points that you have defined, is known as approximation spline. Okay, so now instead of going through each of these control points that are defined in your algorithm or something, instead of that, what you are doing is your curve or your line, whatever things you are using, will be following a general path instead of going in this required direction. These are nothing but the approximation splines. Okay, two simple things. Don't put any like logic or something. You just understand this thing from the very base. Okay, अभी सोचोगे कि अच्छा ये करेंगे, we will put this thing in our code. Oh, जब भी जो भी आएगा, that we will see, not a problem. Okay, so try to understand this thing. Next thing, these are the conceptual things. So next thing that we have is convex hole. Okay, so what does it say? The convex hole polygon boundary that encloses a set of control point is called convex hole. Okay, so now same thing we have over here, and what we are doing is we are giving a boundary kind of thing to this thing, to this particular curve, or you can say curve section. Okay, so now a boundary polygon, but obviously now as you can see we have 4 such vertices, that is P1, P0, P1, P3, P2, and what is it that encloses a set of control points. So now this whole scenario is nothing but a convex hole. Okay, similarly over here, so as you can see we have 3 vertex over here. There is P0, P1, P2. Likewise, see, it depends on you. It is not like that कि मैंने यहाँ पे 3 points रखे हुए हैं, या if you have if I have kept 4 or 5 such thing, it is dependent on you. If you are like giving one boundary that is containing like 5 such vertex, and you are enclosing whole of this thing, and you are putting your curve into it, then you can say this thing is a convex hole. So this is for a simple understanding. Now control graph. A polyline connecting the sequence of control points for an approximation line is referred as control graph of the curve. Okay, so a polyline connecting the sequence of control points. Okay, it is connecting the sequence of control points for an approximation spline. So now you already know what is control point. You already know what is this approximation spline. Okay, and it is referred as a control graph of the curve. Okay, likewise. So What it says is we will be having one such polyline that will go from P0 to P1. So these are the random points that we are taking into the consideration. Okay, ये आप लोग अलग अपनी तरह से भी define कर सकते हैं. आपका point यहाँ पे भी आ सकता है, यहाँ पे भी आ सकता है, यहाँ पे भी आ सकता है. It all depends on you. So now we have such thing. We have one polyline that is connecting the sequence of control points. Okay, and not necessarily your curve should pass through this control point. That's why we have used one term, that is approximation line. So what does it say is that it will not go through all of these control points that you have. Okay, but it will follow a general path. So that is what it says. And we have such thing that is coming from P0 to P1, similarly P1 to P3 and P2 to P3. Okay, and our curve will be like following the approximation spline thing. And the whole thing is referred as control graph of the curve. Okay, now you'd be saying that, okay, why we need this control graph? So at some point you want your line to be like extended from this thing to this point, or you want your shape to look like that. Then at that time you need such thing that would control your complete thing. So that's why we are defining one environment that would look like this. And similarly for different shape you would be having different things. Okay, so it is also referred as control polygon or characteristics polygon. Okay, so जब भी आप लोग पढ़ो, you just refer to these topics, or you just try to understand this topic. Okay, based on the conceptual things only. We have not gone to the programming part yet. Okay, if we will go to that particular part, or if we study something like that, then only you go towards that particular thing. Okay, so whatever things we have or we are studying, in the same manner we are going to ask you the MCQs or the questions. Okay, so it is usually displayed to remind a designer of the control point ordering. Okay, so at some point you'd be having like bigger shapes. It's not like that a programmer or a developer would be working with the simple shape that looks like this. Okay, at some point your shape would be a big scenario or something. Then these control points are very important. So generally, like developers or in the industry, gaming industry, they do this thing. They have these points, and then they can like simply control whole of the environment that is present in that particular thing. Yeah. So next thing that we have is parametric continuity condition. So now, as I said, continuity condition is important when one curve section meets another curve section. Okay, if we don't have that particular thing, or if we have not specified it correctly, then you won't be able to see the curve merging, or you'll be able to like see the splitted thing. Okay, but we don't want that thing. We want something that looks like continuous in nature, and that would be like at the end making some shape. Okay, suppose it is a boy shape or something, so we want something to be very perfect. So for smooth transition, we need this thing from one curve section to next curve section. We put various continuity condition at the connecting points. Okay, अभी तक क्या है ना, देखो, see, basic thing is that you have used some softwares like Pixartic, देख लो, चलो simple example, nothing else, or Adobe Photoshop you consider. So where you just have this drag and drop things. Okay, so you don't bother about all of this continuity and all. Okay, so that's why we might not be familiar with this thing. Again, once we see this thing, you'll be able to get an idea about it. This is this thing. So now, so now what it says. So, but obviously now it is like taking this coordinates into the picture. So now what it says, let this parametric coordinate function be this thing, that is x equal to x of u, y equal to y of u, and z equal to z of u. Okay, three things that we have, three coordinates that we have, x, y, and z, and that would be represented with x of u, y of u, and z of u. Okay, when u1 is less than equal to u is less than u2. Okay, so it is nothing but it is a generalized thing that is generally followed whenever you like work with this thing, or whenever you find the first order derivative about a function or something about a line. Then what it says is you need to just go with this, or you just have to go in this particular direction. So we'll see this thing, you'll get an idea कि अच्छा ये use कहाँ पे होगा, how it would make sense. So now the very first thing that we have is the zero order parametric continuity means simply curve mates. Okay, so what it says is if your merging at some point. Okay, so what it says, if you're the very first thing that we have is the zero order parametric continuity, that is indicated as C0. So if you have this thing, okay, then what it says is it means that simply curves meets. Okay, it means the last point of the first curve section, that is this, and the first point of the second curve sections are same. Okay, so now the last point of the first co-section and the first point of the second co-section will be same, then but obviously you can say that they are merging at that particular point. If they are different, then but obviously you cannot say this thing that okay, it will look like this or they are merging up at a given point as it is shown over here. Okay, similarly, first order parametric continuity, so that is C1. Okay, so now it means that first parametric derivatives are same for both the co-section at intersection point. So it means that the first order derivative of the first co-section as it is over here, and the first order derivative of the second co-section, okay, where they meet are same. Okay, where they meet are same, that is nothing but that intersection point. Okay, so if this is the case, it will be first order parametric continuity. See, it could be anything, it could be like some value or something that will define all of this thing. Okay, similarly second order parametric continuity. Why now once we have seen this thing, first order derivative of this first co-section, similarly second co-section where they meet, there's this intersection point, if it is same, this fine. And then why we require the second order parametric continuity, it is for some like higher precision thing, because many a time like industry people or mech people will be working on some machineries or something that they are rendering in CAD or something, so they need that kind of precision, so they cannot be like if they zoom that machine and if they are not getting connected properly, or there are some loopholes, then it is not at all acceptable in that industry kind of. That's why you work on this higher order parametric continuity things. What it says, both the first order and second order first order and second order derivative, okay, of the first co-section and the second section where they meet, or you can say the intersection point will be same. Okay, so that is nothing but C2. So what it says, higher order parametric continuity can be obtained similarly. It all depends on the equations. If you want to take third order derivative of the same thing of the curve two sections of the curve section they meet, you can simply calculate it. It all depends, and it will again take more resources out of your computer, but it will give you more precise thing. So what it says, it is often sufficient for general application if you are using a general thing that is not making any such impact. But if you are going with this high graphical things that is CAD and all, then it requires second order continuity for accuracy. As I said, if you are zooming in that into that particular shape, and if it is not getting connected properly, or if it is similarly getting blurred or something, then it is not acceptable. So for that kind of thing, they generally use this thing. So now again, one thing would be like coming here, chalo bhai CAD hai, to CAD to is like something that people generally use it and they don't bother about the first order derivative or this continuity equation and all. But obviously these are the softwares that the people that are those people who don't know about this programming thing and logical thing, but obviously the software are for this kind of people. But now this CAD software, those who have made this thing, the developers, they will be like concerned about this thing. Okay, so these things are about the developers, not about the users. Okay, and continuity and all. So if they are developing and if they want something to be that good and to be that precise, or that to be giving higher accuracy, so developer have to keep this thing in mind. अभी अपने लिए क्या है, we just have to keep this conceptual thing into our mind. Okay, another method for joining, and you just keep one thing in mind, what is the ultimate goal of doing all of this thing. Okay, so very first point says this thing that okay, for another method for joining two successive curve section. So all of this thing is required to connect two things, okay, two curve sections that you would be having. is to specify condition for geometric continuity. So now what does this geometric continuity mean? So now zero order geometric continuity is same as parametric zero continuity. That means that two curve sections simply meets, nothing else. Okay, we do not have to go with the first order derivative or second order derivative or third order derivative or something, but it is same for the parametric, like it is same as the zero order parametric continuity that we have just now seen. अभी आपको थोड़ा idea आएगा once we will compare both of this thing. Wait a second. Another thing that we have is the first order geometric continuity that will be denoted with G1. See, try to visualize this thing, understand this thing. ऐसा नहीं है कि पता चल जाएगा. Try to put some like imagination into it. Okay, now means that parametric first derivative are proportional at the intersection of two successive sections. Okay, so now what it says is now you'd be having first order derivative, but obviously now the parametric zero order the parametric first order continuity says that you have two such like curve section where they meet, and that where they meet the first order derivative would be same. But now what it says is they are proportional at the intersection of these two successive sections. Okay, so now what it says, it is not necessary for this geometric continuity condition that the magnitude will be equal as we have seen in the previous example. But what if it is not equal? अगर equal नहीं है तो क्या condition है जहां से उसको पता चलेगा that they both are merging at this point and it is looking, or it will look like this as a continuous line or a continuous curve. So in other words, tangent direction must be same. Okay, if magnitude is not equal, it is not at all necessary if you are considering this geometric continuity condition, but the tangent direction must be same. Okay, so that is what it says. As you can see, tangent direction is same at this particular point. So if this is getting satisfied, then you can say that okay, this will go with the two successive or two such curve section. Okay, so two such thing are there. One more thing that we have is second order geometric continuity. So same thing, the second order derivative where these two curve sections are like intersecting or they are merging up, and the previous thing says that that should be equal. Okay, but now over here it is fine if they are not equal, if their magnitudes will not be equal. It is not necessary that this should be equal, but what it says is uh, it is dependent on the tangent direction. So what it says, the geometric continuity curve is pulled toward the section with the greater tangent vector. Okay, greater tangent vector. So now how it will look if you have a greater tangent vector in one particular direction. Suppose your direction is this or this or this. Okay, so now we have one thing that is parametric continuity. We have this like control point and we have C1 C2. Now similarly we have geometric continuity. Okay, meet ho rahe hai. We have intersection point, we have one point where these two curve section meets and all that is fine. Okay, but now it is pulled toward the section with the greater tangent factor. Okay, so now we have one thing that is tangent vector, the value is greater than this particular points and it will be pulled over to this in this particular direction. Now you'd say that okay, ये चीज हम लोग करते थे मतलब in like if I am not wrong in word also you can do this thing if you have one line and you just try to pull it in a particular direction, but mathematically how these things are performed. So this is how this thing will go. Okay, based on the developers fundamentals, based on the things that the developer have used, it will work in that particular manner. Okay, again saying the same thing. इसके रिलेटेड कोई कोड अभी तक हमने देखा नहीं है और something related to this वो नहीं आया, तो till now you don't have to bother about that fundamental or the code that is required. Okay, but obviously this thing can't be done in graphics.h. Okay, all of this thing require OpenGL or something. Okay, so if it is to be taught, then I will show you in the PPT itself. Okay, so the next thing is geometric continuity. Yeah, so एक में क्या है, you just have to keep one thing, the magnitude will be equal, and based on that first order derivative and second order derivative where they meet will be equal. Another thing says that okay, it is fine if they are like not equal. Okay, but it will be dependent on the vector tangent vector. Okay, if the tangent vector or the tangent direction is same, then you can say that okay, it will look like this, or it will go in that particular direction without distorting the shape. Okay, so yeah, so basic thing is that, and similarly you have to go with the higher order derivatives. It is fine. Okay, अभी derivatives कैसे find करना है, that you already know. And as of now we don't have any such numerical based on this concept, that is like continuity condition. If it is there, then definitely I would have put it up in the slides. Okay, see, we are from the very beginning, we are following one such straight away thing. Whatever things are there, we will put it. And if it is to be like asked in the examination, or if you can like if you are studying this thing, or if you want to know this thing in that way, then I will put all of the required information. If it is not required, then I will not put it in the slides as well as in the tutorial part. Okay, yeah. So now the next thing that we have is cubic spline interpolation method. Okay. So now one more thing that is over here, that is cubic splines are the most used thing for representing path of moving object or existing object shape or drawing. Okay. So now what is this cubic spline? It is also used to design the object shapes. Okay. It gives reasonable computation as compared to the higher order spline. Okay, so now we have something that will like eliminate this thing to do all of this thing higher orders, and we are going with one thing, that is cubic spline interpolation method, and it gives reasonable computation. Okay, so ultimate goal is to reduce the computation power. Okay, so now it is more stable compared to the lower order polynomial spline, so it is often used for modeling curve shapes. Okay, so but obviously the things that we see in the flow one after another, and all of this thing comes, so these are the things that are proposed after the previous thing, and they would be like better in some terms. Something would be giving you better accuracy, something would be giving you um, would be like occupying less space, and similarly this is saying that it is more stable. How it is stable, then we will see. Okay, so it is obtained by fitting the input points with piecewise cubic polynomial curve that passes through every control point. Okay, so you have to fit the input points with this piecewise cubic polynomial curve. अभी ये curve क्या है वो हम लोग देखेंगे, that passes through this the curves, the control points that you would be having. Okay, so now the very first thing that is over here is PK, and but obviously you'd be having multiple polygons, and you can say vertices, okay, vertex, and that would be itself pointing to that particular coordinate where it lies. So you'll be having x1, y1, z1. Similarly, based on number of things that you have, it will be represented by k, and similar things can be kept for our purpose. Now parametric cubic polynomial for this curve, or for this, or you can say a general thing, is given by this particular equation. Okay, so now we have one thing over here, that is x of u. Similarly, see, we have three such things over here, that is x, y, and k. Okay, so we have to like generalize this thing so that thing can be used similarly for the further steps or for the things if it is required. So now we have very first thing, that is x of u. Okay, similarly for y of u, and similarly for z of u. So now what it says, the parametric cubical polynomial for this curve, or for this particular general shape, you can consider, is given by ax plus by plus ax plus bx plus cx plus d. Similarly, if it is for a general thing, that is ax by and cz and b. And similarly, you have to follow this thing for the remaining things. So now we have y of u, similarly for z of u. So ax u cube plus bx u square, similarly plus cx u plus dx. Similarly ay u cube plus by u square, cy u plus dy, and that is what is written over here. Okay, where 0 will be uh, less than or equal to u will be less than or equal to 1. So your value of u will be lying in between 0 and 1. Okay, so now what it says, for our equation we need to determine for constants a, b, c and d the polynomial representation for each of n curve section. Okay, so now we'll try to put this thing into one figure or in some simple like spline or some representation that you have, and by that method only you'll be able to understand what you are trying to do or what is the ultimate goal to achieve. So now based on it, what is it? This is obtained by setting proper boundary conditions at the joint. Okay, see what we want is like our ultimate goal is nothing but we want a proper representation of a moving object or an existing shape or a continuous like curved section is there. If multiple curved sections are there, then what we want something to actually represent the thing as the customer or the as the developer need or as the user needs. So for this thing we are going into some concepts that will do this thing and that will say that okay, this will be the final equation, this will be the final thing that you can use and that will lead to the accurate thing. Okay, so this is obtained by setting proper boundary conditions at the joints. Okay, and if you have this proper conditions at the joints, then but obviously the next curve section that will be joining the previous thing that will always meet this thing accurately. Okay, देखो अभी एक line है, लेकिन what if you have a complete scenario, if you have a sunset scenario or something like that, if you have a traffic light project. Okay, so in that you need that particular thing to be very precise. So now common methods for setting these conditions are natural cubic spline, Hermite interpolation, cardinal spline, and fourth thing that we have is Kochanek Bartels spline. ओके, सो देखो अभी कंफ्यूजन होगा बट वंस वी गेट इनटू दिस टॉपिक्स आपको थोड़ा आइडिया आने लग जाएगा। अच्छा, दिस इज द बेसिक थिंग वी वांटेड टू नो। थोड़ा फिगर भी है हमारे पास एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट कर्व सेक्शन सॉरी बेस्ड ऑन कर्व कंट्रोल पॉइंट्स we'll try to understand this. Okay, these are the curve sections that we have and these are the points and we want something at the joints that would do all of this thing for the application. Okay, so we have like more 5 to 10 minutes more, so we'll just try to understand the first concept that we have. Okay, yeah, one more thing, I got one request to like show you or to give you the review rights for your answers is okay for the mid-sem. So we will plan this thing on some day and some particular time, and we will be there on the Moodle or on the Meet also. So I will plan something because the weekend syllabus is remaining and we have to like cover all of this thing. So like tomorrow or something we will plan it. Okay, in some half an hour you'll be given like 15 to 20 minutes. You just have to review your answer set in that 15 to 20 minutes, and then if you have any problem or something you can revert me back, and likewise we will try to solve that problem. Okay, अभी देखते हैं लैब में अगर पॉसिबल हो तो लास्ट हाफ आवर में वी विल पुट दिस थिंग और लास्ट 20 मिनट्स में वी विल पुट दिस थिंग इन द लैब। देखते हैं, अभी प्लान नहीं है, लेकिन इफ इट इज दैट देन आई विल definitely inform you, okay, in the lab itself. So we will not like spare more than 20 minutes for this particular thing for reviewing. Okay, fine. So now as it is written in the very first line, it is natural cubic spline is a mathematical representation of the original drafting spline. Okay, fine. So we have 4 such control points, you can say, or if you have n such control points, then but obviously it would be depicted by n. Okay, so what it says, we consider that curve is in C2 continuity means, but obviously now you know C2 continuity means first order derivative and second order derivative of adjoint curve section are same at that particular intersecting point. Okay, it will be same at the intersection point. Likewise, if it is over here, if it is for this thing, it will be same. Okay, where this two successive or two curve section meets. So now for n plus 1 control point we have n curve sections. Okay, so for n plus 1, but obviously if we have 6 control points and we have how many curve sections you'll be having, so we will be having plus 1, or we'll be having n curve sections. For 6 control points you'll be having 5 curve sections. Okay, this is a very simple thing. And 4n polynomial constants to find. Okay, so polynomial constants will be 4 And why 4n? Because we have to like if we are considering like n co-section, okay, so we will be having respective such four such constants to find. Okay, so based on the number of things that you would be having, if you have this example, then we have to consider this 4n to be considered, or 4n polynomial considered to be computed. Okay, similarly it depends on the things that you want to compute. Similarly, for all the interior control points we have four boundary conditions. Okay, so for all control points we have four boundary conditions. The two curve section on the either side of the control point must have a same first and order second order derivative at the control points. Okay, so the two curve section on either side of the control points. Okay, एक side पे अगर जो दो आ रहे हैं, suppose it is p0 and p1, similarly on the other side if it is p2 and p3, or whatever like curve section you have, what it says is it's like first order and second order derivative must be same at that given point. Okay, and each curve section passes through that curve point, so we get other two conditions as p0 starting and pn, that is the last control point. Okay, that is the end point of the curve. So whatever thing is given to if you are given some polygon or some particular curve or spline, what you need to know is you need to gather all of this information and you just have to keep it with you, that okay, these are the things that we have and this is the complete information that you could be having at that stage. अभी यहाँ पे कोई calculation हमने किया नहीं है अब तक. If there is some calculation to be done, then definitely I will show you in that perspective or in that way only. But we just conceptual thing है, you just understand this thing. Okay, so we get other two conditions as p0. Okay, that is nothing but the first control point starting, and pn is the last control point, and that will be the ending point. Okay, we still required two conditions for obtaining the coefficient values. Okay, so we'll see this thing. So now one approach is to find or is to set up second order derivative at p0 and pn to be 0. Okay, so what it says, okay, देखो ये करने का मतलब क्या है. So see, what we want is we still require two conditions for obtaining the coefficient values, because we have two such coordinate points. Once we got this thing, it is okay, we have the starting points and we have this end points, it is fine. Okay, we don't want something or some like further derivative, or we don't have that control point that is joining another curve successful curve section. Okay, what we want is where this two curve section meets. Okay, so if we want this information, then what it says. So but obviously from this information now we have two things, that is p0 and p1, and we don't want to go further because we have this information that okay fine, these are the control points, that is at the beginning and that is at the end. Okay, but now we want the information about these two things. Okay, so what it says, one such approach is to set up the second order derivative of p0 and pn to be 0. उसका हमारा कुछ काम नहीं है, तो we will put it as 0. And another approach is to add one extra dummy point at each end. So we add p minus 1 and pn plus 1, then all the control points are interior. अभी क्या अपने interior points क्या है, दो ही है, that is p1 and p2. You just visualize this thing. We have two things, okay, and that is in between this starting and end point, that is p1 and p2. Another thing what you can do is you can add this dummy point, that is p minus 1 and pn plus 1. Okay, so what it can do is it will then search for all of the control points that are interior. But obviously दो dummy point रखे हैं, तो now these four things will become our interior points and it can be done. So although it is mathematical model, it has major disadvantage. With change in the control point, entire curve is change. Okay, so if we are not able to make out something that is very correct or accurate, then your curve will be also different. So it is not allowed for local control and we cannot modify part of the curve. Okay, so this is to be understood. Okay, as per this very first thing that we have, that is initial cubic spline. Okay, and yeah, so these are the things that you need to understand before like going to this topic. Okay, देखो ultimate goal आपको पता चलना चाहिए कि इसका ultimate goal क्या है. It is fine if you are getting the concept and all. Okay, this is the thing, this is the continuity equation, these are the continuity things that is to be like understood, but what is the ultimate goal after doing all of this thing? So that is to be understood. Okay, and yeah, so you have to understand this thing. So as of now, यहाँ तक हमने देखा है. I will share the same thing with you. देखो एक बार नहीं पता चल रहा है, then I'm here for your help. Okay. And second thing that we have is Hermit interpolation. So we'll try to understand this thing in the tomorrow's lecture. Okay. So अभी मेरे दिमाग में एक चीज आ रही है. For the lab, in the last 20 minutes, I will try to spare for your reviewing the answer set, reviewing thing. Okay. And we will do this thing in the lab itself. ठीक है. Yeah, that's it for today. And ये जो सारी चीजें हैं हम लोग will try to understand it in the next lecture. Okay. And conceptual thing है, यहाँ पे कोई अभी numerical नहीं आएगा. So based on that, you try to understand it. And then we'll go with the one thing that is very important to us, that is Bezier curve. Okay. And we try to understand the basic concept of whole of this thing. Yeah, that's it for today. I will share whole of this thing with you, and then if you have any doubt, then you can ask me. Okay. अगर इसके related कुछ है based on the numerical, अभी तो नहीं है, but if it is there, then I will give you in the tutorial form or something. But 99% things, no such thing is there. But yeah, conceptually you need to be clear. So conceptual questions could be there in your exam. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for today, and we'll see the same thing in the tomorrow's lecture. So we'll stop sending my PPT now, and we'll meet in the afternoon lab. Okay. That's it for today. Thank you.